Hi, everyone. Falling off my chair. How's it going? Well, Wolfpack, I have missed you a lot. It's been, 2 weeks almost? And I cannot believe it feels like it's been a month. So if you've never been here before, say hi, say where you're from. A couple weeks ago, we started a really fun trend. And that was not only saying hi, put the emoji of what country you're from. Because we have covered the entire globe, which is awesome. Well, at least as far as we can, as far as I can tell. So great to see you all. All right, so before I get started, today I just have a really fun tutorial. I thought, since we're just getting back after a few weeks, I'm organizing my studio. It has been chaotic here getting ready for It's So Easy, which we taped last week. It went really well. I taped all of my seasons in one day. That's how this works. So I was there in the morning with Joe. Joe taped his. And Melody, I can't take off this long. Actually, when I saw your photo, I was like, did you get a haircut since I've seen you? We all hung out every day for so long. So today I'm going to give you a real tutorial. A little bit of chatting, but I want to show you how to drape a really cute skirt. I made this years ago. It was in one of my fashion shows. I pulled these out and I thought, okay, the elastic is worn out, so I need to fix them actually. And then I'm going to show you how to drape and make one yourself. Now, it could be for a beach cover up, or I actually found some fabric that I could use as a skirt for going out and about. It's about 90 degrees today. So I'm just giving you a heads up. I'm wearing this color because I hand dyed this. Susan and Amy have been adding so many cute clothes that were hand dyed. And the skirts I'm working on that you're going to be making are hand dyed because I saw that Deepika put my class on sale on pattern reviews. So I think I actually made these in class. So these are the skirts that you're going to be making. It's 2 layers. I used silk chiffon and China silk. No, actually I used silk chiffon and silk charmeuse on these skirts, right? So it's 2 layers. Isn't this fun? I actually made these out of white and then hand dyed them. We're not doing hand dyeing today. And I will say, I'm wearing this shirt because it blends in with my bruises. I did have, in case you missed it, we did go fishing this weekend for the first tournament for the whole year so far. We came in 5th out of like 59 or 60 boats. So not too shabby. We're not losing our mojo yet, but I'm just going to take this off and then I'll show you. Yeah, it was a really stupid mistake. So for those of you that know boats, you have your engine room. Well, some have an engine room, some have engine room down below. Well, our boat in the living room area, or like the back salon, I guess you'd call it, Wynn was in there working on an engine because we had a little problem. So we had the big hatch cover open, and to get to the bottom is about, well, I don't know how many feet. I just know I ended up this far down. And I've got pretty looking feet, a pretty looking knee, a hip, and a little rib action. But you know what? I didn't break anything. Thank you so much. But I am looking a little rough. So I just had to show you the reason. This is what happened. We caught 3 itsy bitsy bitsy fish at the very end of the tournament, which helped us come in such a high place. I wanted to take a photo. So before I took a photo, first I wanted to take a photo of the fish that we caught. So here is the fish. There's 2 big ones. That's a salmon and a lake trout, for those of you that don't know fishing. Here they are again. I posted those on Sunday for you. All right. And right before that, the phone said, I took that photo and the phone said it was too hot to take any more photos. So I thought this brilliant idea, I'll go in, put my phone into the refrigerator for a moment and let it cool off for a second and then come back out. So I jumped over the engine room, which this is what it looks like when it's open. That's a floor, so that's down there. See that little spot up here? That's where I ended up. So I walked in from this side, go into the boat, put my phone into the refrigerator, wait a couple of minutes, squirrel. How could I not remember I just jumped over this big old hole going to the refrigerator? So then I took that photo, by the way, later. So then I ended up like this and this. You'd be amazed that one bag of ice could cover so many different areas. There's my foot. So I think you're getting the idea. And then I had another one up on my arm. And that's the one that you see now. But guess what I didn't have on the boat? The one cream that all of you told me gets rid of bruises. So I went to Walgreens and I walked around for 10 minutes and couldn't find it. So what is the name of the cream that gets rid of bruises? I know you all know that. Yeah, they were huge. So I'm all good though. So if you see bruises, just know Win and I didn't have like a massive fight. I had a fight with the boat. Yeah, or something crazy. So if you know the name of that cream, mention it here because Win and I could not remember it for the life of us. And for those of you that ever have bruises this summer, this stuff worked amazing. But I ran out last time. Well, obviously I use a lot of it. So are you ready to drape a skirt? Arnica, that's it, that's it. Thank you, Sandy. You guys have told me this so many times, you think I would order it by the case. Oh, Amy, I know. You know, Amy, that's kind of what was scary is the engine had been off. We were using our little kicker. We have a little kicker on the back, and the engines had been off. If they hadn't been, or if they had been running when he was testing something in there, I don't even want to think about that. That's when you just say, thank you, thank you, thank you. See, all of you remembered Arnica. Oh, goodness. Well, thank you. Now let's go drape. All right, so I'm going to take you. I think I got all the cameras ready today. We're going to go over to the draper, to Joe's beautiful dress form. Now, if you missed this tutorial, this was a couple weeks ago. We draped this skirt. We didn't really drape it. It's basically a rectangle of fabric. And I sewed it with the sewing machine. And I have to laugh. A few of you said, I would have totally done that with the serger. Well, I would have too. But I get some notes from some of you that say, I don't have a serger. And I would love if you would show some sewing things. So that's why I did this one with the sewing machine. And this is what it ended up looking like. Pretty cute. Now this is definitely a bathing suit cover-up because it has an opening. The one I show you today is a pull-up with elastic, and I think you'll like it a lot. So let's take this down. Supplies that you're going to need. You have to decide how long of a skirt you're going to make. So this is 2 layers. The outside layer is a chiffon or see-through. The under layer could be a polyester chiffon. This is silk, charmeuse actually, but something that's slinky, not too stiff, but the sheer on the top. All right, that's the key. So you need 2 fabrics, elastic. I'm just going to use 3/4 of a length, 3/4 of a length width, 3/8 width elastic. Wowzer, we'll get that one out. So the first thing you need to do is to measure around your waist. When you're using a thinner elastic, you want to make sure that it's stretched. You're going, usually I always tell you 1 inch smaller. Well, get it around your waist and make sure it's nice and snug. Because it's amazing how this thinner elastic, it doesn't stay up as well. Or it doesn't stay up at all if I would let go. All right, so here is my elastic. So grab a piece. I'll start here and I can always make it a little snugger. Now, are you going to wear it higher or lower on your waist? That's your choice. So now I want to show you the fabrics. I actually chose 2 fabrics from my stash that could be a bathing suit cover-up, but I seriously wear black tank tops almost every night, every week. And I thought this would be a great sheer. And I know it has stripes, but check this out. When I drape it, look at how the lines go all different ways. I thought that would be really fun. So I'm going to keep the camera away for a second, show you how to cut the fabric, and then I'll bring you in closer to the dress form. So what size are you? We're all different sizes. So I want to make sure, however wide your fabric is. Now, the tricky part of the silk chiffon was that was only, I think, 44 inches wide. So this is kind of a circle. Well, it's not kind of. It is a circle skirt is what you're doing. It's a circle skirt. So just think we're putting a circle into the middle of this. So grab your fabric. This one's probably 54 inches wide. And you have to picture there's going to be a circle in the middle of it. So you have to figure out, here, I'll just grab one layer. You have to figure out how short you want your skirt. Now for this one, I'm going to change this up a little bit. The 2 layers, the black layer on the bottom, I found this. This is just a black, this is a polyester actually, which I don't buy much of, but this works great as lining and things like that. So it's a little see-through as well, 60 inches wide. This is going to be underneath. I'm going to cut that one longer than the other one. And then I'm going to twist them so all the points look differently. So just follow along. And if you want to watch this replay, be sure to share it to your Facebook page, or if you're on YouTube, you can watch it again. And I'll put it on my blog, angelawolf.com, probably later tonight. So I had to figure out, let me just bring you out just a little bit more, bring you down here so you can see this. How short do you want this outer layer? Now I'm going to have another layer underneath here. So I want the upper layer to be a little shorter. So about, if that's the bottom of my circle, remember you got to get your body in there. So I'm going to say this long in the front. And now if I take this over to my fabric, I'm following the lines on here. I'm going to give it a little cut right here. Let's hope that this fabric rips like I love some of these polyesters do. If not, I got to go to the cutting table. Oh, yay. But wait a minute. Guess what I did? Dang it. That was only half. I needed to double that. Good thing I got a lot of fabric here. Well, guess what? I see. Next week, we're probably going to have to drape a top because I see a matching top coming along. That's, if I used half of that, that might be a wee bit too short. So let's try that again. Okay. I know, you got to laugh with me on this. LOL. Let's see who can send me the best emoji on that one. All right, 2 layers. Should be better. And let's get rid of the one for the top. All right, I'll give myself a little extra length just in case I screwed that up too. That looks pretty good. All right, and we have more. So next week we will drape a top. So this is your fabric. And I know you can't see my face, but right now I just focused on the fabric for a minute. The next thing I want to do is I'm going to fold this half. There's my selvage. And I'm going to fold it in half this way. So you got that. We folded it in half with the selvage to selvage, and then folded it in half lengthwise. So here's the selvage side, and we folded it long ways. So this corner up here is going to be the circle that we put on our body. And I'm just going to hold this up. I don't even need to put this on a cutting table. See that corner? It's the folded edge. So there's 4 layers of fabric there. For now, I'm just going to cut the tip off. We almost have a circle. All right, so that's piece number 1. Now, I might have to make the circle bigger to get it on the body, but let me just see how long this is about. That's pretty long. That would be kind of a cute longer skirt too, but that's pretty long. I don't think I want it that long. But we're going to drape it anyways and cut it. All right, so let's go to the black piece and see how much we need here. I want to go just a wee bit longer, but I don't want to go that long. I don't want a skirt that long. So let's go. Let's see. This time I'm lining up the side. I don't want it to be longer than that. And the points always hang longer. So let's just, don't worry, ask your questions. I'll see them all when I'm finished here. And I always go back too, so if you just popped in, you'll just have to wait till the end, and then you can replay to watch the whole thing. Okay. I'm going to fold this in half this way. And fold in half this way. So again, this is my salvage edge. This is the edge that's been folded in half and up and down right here. So drop that. And again, I'm just going to cut that tip off. Now, by the way, when I usually cut this on a cutting table, I will cut down and then up. So it's kind of like a semicircle. See what I mean? Okay. Now, obviously, that's not going to fit on my body. So let me come up here and just explain one thing real quick. I'm going to keep opening this circle, but it's always better to cut smaller and then make it bigger. Now, because this fabric does not have stretch, although we have a circle, it's going to fit over your body. So you'll have a little bit of give during the areas that are kind of on the bias, but not so much. So you need this to be as big, unless your fabric has stretch, which we're not using in it today. It needs to go over your hips. Or I should rephrase that. It needs to go over the largest part of your body. So I'm just going to check, make sure you don't have any questions before I keep rolling. It looks like we're good. Oh, I'm glad you like the fabric, Judy. All right, so I'm going to keep rolling. And I'm going to keep the camera focused on the body. I know you can't see my head over there, but hopefully you can still hear me. So let's go. Make sure I got my pins here. All right, so this is way too small, so I need to cut this a little bit bigger. Now, when you're deciding which way to cut, let me just point something out. Here's our hole, right? Right here. See it? Okay. See how the width of the fabric is shorter than the length? So when I go to make this hole bigger, I want to cut from the front to the back. You don't want to lose, see how short these sides are right here? You don't want to lose width on these. So I'm just going to make this a little bit wider and bring you down a little bit further so you can see. There we go. So this is the sides. These are the salvages. See how short that is, or could be? And then this is the front and the back, which is way longer. So when I cut my circle, I want to cut it and take some off of the front and the back, not the sides. So if that made any sense at all. So I'm just going to just cut this real quick on the table. If you don't understand what I mean, if you cut it the wrong way, you'll understand later, because you'll be like, why is my skirt so short on the sides? So see what's happening here? So let's see how much room we got. So I'm going to bring it up, and then I'm just going to keep trimming as I go. So the salvages are here on the side, so I'm going to make it longer. Whoops. Let's see. Now, by the way, I could measure this and make a circle, but I was trying to do this all by draping. There we go. I'm going to cut a little bit more off of each side here. Not too much, but I'm adding elastic, so it's not going to matter. So now look at my circle. See how much I've draped now? All right. I'm sure this is plenty, but we'll see. Oh yeah, goes right over. So obviously when we have this gathered with the elastic, it'll have a nice drape. But for now, I'm just going to pin this on the body and just see what we have. Okay, so do you see what I mean about, see how it's shorter in different areas? You've seen these point skirts. I love these. That looks great. I could make this shorter if I decide I want to trim these shorter, but for now, I'm just going to leave it because it's kind of fun. So I know that this is going to fit. This is the bottom. And I want the top layer to be a little bit shorter. But again, it's going to be very similar to this. So I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to have the other one cut. Circle has to be exactly the same. That's very, very important. So here's my circle. And now I'm going to take this over to the cutting table. I'm going to grab my other fabric. First thing I want to check is make sure that this piece here is actually indeed shorter in length. Since I kind of just eyeballed that. It is, but it's almost the same. So you know what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut a little bit. And the other thing is it's wider. Can you see that? It's wider than the top layer. So I don't want that. So I'm going to take off of each end just a few inches. Here's a piece. Let's just cut some of that off and do the same amount from the other end. Okay, now this fabric is way wider than the other one. So let's just compare that and see how much we need to remove. Get all my scraps out of here. So this one looks like, let's just see. It looks like the black is probably, let me go measure real quick. 36. The black is about 40 inches wide, and this one's longer. So I need to take off this much, however much this is. I'm going to take off 30 inches, which means 15 inches on each side I'm going to take off. So 15 inches, I'll go just measure and give a snip. And measure and give a snip. Now, if you didn't do it exactly even, don't worry. You're going to love this. It's really fun. A lot of ripping. Okay, see how small this piece is? Now, when we want to make the skirt, this is a lot shorter, and I wanted it to be. But we still have to get it on the body, and it has to be the same hole measurement as what's on this piece here. So I'm going to just take this over and cut it real quick. I don't have a camera on the cutting table, sorry guys, but I think you'll get this figured out enough. All right, just about there. You really want to make sure that both of the holes, the circles, are exactly the same. And I'll show you this when I get back over to the dress form. Okay. These are both exactly the same width. They could probably even be a little bit smaller, but it'll be fine for this. So take both of your layers, and I'm going to line up this is the selvage edge, and this is the selvage edge. Slide this on. part that gets really fun. So I'm just going to pin the black layer on first, just a little bit higher so I can hold it in place. I'm just going to pin it center back, center front, because obviously when I add elastic, it's going to be a little tighter on here. All right, you can see that, right? Now, you see the skirt? Now turn this, just cockeye, just a little bit. So wherever the point is on here, you want this to be in a different place when it drapes. So you twist it. So now this point is going to be over here, which is in a little different spot than where that one is. And all the way around. Take this arm off. So the key is you want all the points to be in a little bit different place. So you have 4 points, but if you just twist it just a little bit, skew it just a little bit, then your points will be in different places. I'll just make sure I got this right. So I'm pinning the skirt, and I can do this with you watching too if you like. I'm pinning the skirt layers together, and then I'm just attaching it to the dress form just so I can make an affirmative that I have it twisted just right. And then if my circles are any bit different in different size, I could fix it now by just trimming out a little bit from one or the other. You can see how this would have been pretty short if it was by itself. But as a layer, it's really fun. All right, I'm just about finished all the way around to the front. And then I'll flip her around so you can see her. I just want to pin all my layers together first though. Okay, my circles are exact, or at least close enough that they'll sew together. So I'm just going to lift this up a little bit, put this on the dress form so you can see it just a little bit closer. Now, this is going to have a gathered waist because we're going to have elastic, so use your imagination here. So this is what we have so far. Very fun. Now this black, I'm going to hem a little bit shorter, but for now, all I want to do is sew these 2 layers together. So you have options for sewing them together. Let me just take you over, let me find my blue one, and just show you how I did the waistband. All right, so it's kind of a messy skirt, but it's super fun. Very easy to do. Very beginner, but are you putting the selvage edge on different sides? So each side has a selvage edge. What do you mean, Kathleen? Are you putting the selvage edge on different sides? So each side has a selvage edge. No, I'm twisting it around. So you won't even, you're going to be cutting the selvage edge off. So when you start it, your selvage edge is probably on each side of the skirt. That's usually how I do the bottom layer. And then the next one I twist on the top. So if that makes sense. Okay, let me just check and make sure I'm not missing anything. Let's see. You can leave them any length you want. Yep, and you totally could do that. But we're gathering the skirt, so we haven't done that yet. You could add a skirt to leggings this way, Pam. That's not the way I did it though, because that fabric's thicker. All right, so look at the top of this waistband. I'll go back and read your questions shortly. Let me finish this project because then when you're done, then you'll kind of get the whole thing together. All right. So on this one, I took both layers facing out right. You can see how this ended up. The bottom layer I actually turned into a circle skirt, and the top layer I left with the points. So you have a lot of options here. And I did a itty bitty rolled hem at the top. And then I just encased the elastic. So when I have this on, it has little gathering at the top. Very cute. This one, I think I did a little bit different. Let's see. This one I did a little bit differently. I still did a rolled hem. It's actually a narrow overlock at the top, and encased the elastic without having the extra. So this one had a little fun stuff at the top, a little fabric up there because there's a stitch right here, and this one meets right at the top. So let me take you to the sewing machine and I'll show you how this works. Let's see, Pam, is there any way when the ladies are there for a pants class in September that you could do how to drape a skirt on yourself so as to deal with your tummies and touch issues? Well, Pam, unfortunately, it has nothing to do with pants, but Friday's an open sew day for that class, so you never know. Okay, so let's go here. And I think I already have, I'm using a couple different machines today that you probably see me use. The PQ 1500 I haven't used in a while. Let me just I'm taking my dress form off my skirt off the dress form at this point. All right, so I'm gonna try to sew standing up so you can see this. But the first thing I wanna do is I wanna sew this together to baste it, just so I can get a handle on that I don't need to change anything. So let me bring you a little closer here without getting you seasick. And this is going to be a very messy stitch, but I'm just trying to make sure that these stitch together because they're not going to be totally even because I didn't lay them on top of each other. And take all the pins out because then we're going to go to the serger. There we go. Slippery little stuff. I actually have a black bathing suit that this would look great over. I think for a dinner skirt, I would make the top layer a little bit longer. All right, so I've just sewn this together. So now this gives me a guide for when I go through the serger. All right, so let's go to the serger. Uh-oh, it's not Friday, and this is a brand new cord, so let me just grab my glasses real quick. I always have to wear glasses at the serger. Okay, so right here, and hopefully that quits doing that. Sorry, guys. This is a 3-thread overlock stitch. And all I'm going to do for this one is just make the stitch a little bit closer together, which I can do that on the side. And I just want to test that and see what it looks like. So technically, this is not a narrow overlock stitch because I didn't take the stitch finger out. But I'm using woolly poly in the loopers, and look at how nice and thick that looks. So that's going to look great at the top of my waistband. So I have it on a stitch length of 2.2, or 2, I mean 2.2, not 2 point anything, just 2. All right, so I'm just going to go by and stitch. Hopefully it's not too loud with the serger. Just turn your music up if it is. And I'm just doing a serged edge at the top. See how it cuts off all my messy edges if I cut wrong? And I'm just stitching right along the edge of where I can see my stitch line. I'm cutting off my stitch that I just did. Oh, Patty, you have the catch bucket too. I can see your comments. I'm reading your comments as I'm searching. So if it's crooked, just LOL on that. I love this catch bucket. All right, I'm just going to go over mine just a little bit more. And then if I cut this, you can actually just pull this back and I'll tie that off. So that's my top edge. Very simple. Now this stuff here is really messy. So let me just show you how I'm going to do this. Now you could also use just a narrow rolled edge on this as well. Let me just see something. Oh, that's so funny. I thought this is so light. Did I do the wrong side of the fabric? No, I didn't. I did the right side. But it would be something that I would do if I was here. Actually, I'm not going to stitch this yet because I'm probably going to do something a little bit thinner than that along the edges. So the next step is going to be to add the elastic because then I can trim my black layer once this is on the skirt. So I have my elastic here. And again, I'm just going to tighten it around my waist to make sure it's tight enough. Make sure it's not twisted. I just found this entire roll of elastic, which is very hard to find these days. I'll put it on my website in a few days, probably next week when I get back from the 4th. And I'll just make a little. All right. Just going to trim off the extra. There we go. So now in my skirt, and I'll bring you back. Let's see, now we got to go to the sewing machine. So I think you'll be able to see this okay. If the camera quits blacking in and out. So here is my serged edge. That's the right side. And on the inside, I'm just going to line up. So take your fabric up here. You got 2 layers. So this is inside. I'm just putting the elastic all the way around. Kind of figure out where you want the back of your skirt. That's where you would want this part of the elastic. So I'm going to say the back is going to go probably where this point goes down maybe. That would be a nice looking back area. And then you're going to go through and you pin. I'm not pinning the elastic to the casing. I'm pinning below it. Just keeping that elastic inside. I'm using silk pins so they get a little, ignore the blackouts, guys. I can't help it. And it's a new cord, so it must just be the length of it. Just pretend you're blinking. Oh, hey, Mom and Amy. I just saw you guys roll in. And Mary from California. Oh, no. Joanne says her weather and internet are not helping. Well, don't worry. My camera is having a problem as well, so don't worry. And if it doesn't stop, I'll grab the other camera. These little video cameras can only take so much cording. All right, so I'm going to use a straight stitch. And when you sew this, you just have to make sure that both layers of fabric are flat. You can't have it twisted up. Now, if I wanted to have this as like a little extra at the top, like on the orange skirt, I would first run a stitch down about 1/2 inch. I'm not doing that. I want my elastic to go right to the top, or at least close. Actually, I don't know. That might be kind of cute with this kind of ruffled at the top. Change my mind. So now I'm going to, this is how designing goes with me. I'm just going to lower that just a little bit, and I can do it as I go around. Let's just check it out. You guys vote. Should I have this where this is loose at the top, or should I have that tight? No, I'll have it tight. Never mind. Back to the original plan. All right, I'm just going to bring you a little closer so you can see. And then hopefully it'll just stay. Fingers crossed. Got my little dish for my pins. Okay, this is the tricky part. When you sew, and I'm just going to use a 2.5 stitch length, you'll have to maneuver the elastic to the tip, but don't sew through it. So you need your stitch as close to there as you possibly can without stitching through the elastic. And make sure both layers of your fabric are flat. According to this fabric I'm using, the top layer is definitely frays a lot. The nice part on the silk, if you're using silk charmeuse, or the silk, China silk that I used on mine, my other one, or soft, even, well, China silk can fray a little bit, but the silk charmeuse that I used after I hand dyed it, and the other, it didn't fray hardly at all, which was really nice. Just depends on what you're using. They're all different. All right, we're getting around there. We're getting there. Making sure that I'm not stitching. It gets a little messy when you get towards the end. And again, if you missed my tutorial a couple weeks ago, let's see, we draped a wrap skirt with a sewing machine, but you could also do it with a serger in less than an hour. We draped a zero waist top, remember? So now here I'm getting to the bottom, by the way. So I'm just getting that fabric out of the way. Not stretching the elastic, I'm just sliding the fabric down the elastic. Let's see, did we drape anything else, or was that about it so far? Okay, now I'm sliding the fabric over the elastic. You got to keep kind of moving this around a little bit. Make sure I didn't. I'm just going to cut that for a second just to see what I got. So you can see how this looks so far. That's where I'm going to trim that off because I don't want that to go away. And I still have, oh, just a little bit more. I was almost there. That was pretty good. Now I'm going to wear my skirt probably a little bit lower on the hip, probably below my bathing suit, just as a fun cover up. But again, if this was going to be an evening skirt or something like that, then you would definitely probably want more length in the top layer. And when I go to put this on the dress form, I'll probably pin it in the back just so you can see what it looks like at both places. But because mine's going to be a little shorter, it might not be super tight on it. All right, I think that's good. I just saw a thread right here. I know, killer scissors for that thread. All right, so let's go back over here. So here's the skirt so far. I'm not finished yet, but see how, look closely, how these, it's so funny. This looks like the selvage, if that's what she was talking about. That's not the selvage, that's part of the fabric. It's kind of funny. I'll probably cut it off because the white kind of stands out a lot. So again, I'll just go all the way around so you can see this, and then we'll go to the dress form and I'll finish cutting. You have any questions yet? And guess what? I don't even think we've hit an hour. This is like a draping and sewing in an hour. And I'm making a few mistakes. Oh, Darlene, you are. That little thread is not going to get in the way. You won't even see it. All right. Nice to see you, June. Okay, so let's go to the dress form and throw this on. I'm going to feel for my big piece of elastic. I better do that first. So, oh, there it is. That's where I know that's going to be in the back, where your elastic crossed over. And I'm just going to pin this in place because on my lower hip, but I'm going to pin it in place at the waist because I think it's easier for me to see how it goes. But see how this waistband kind of crinkles together? Oh, I love that. That's going to be super cute. And if I have to take the elastic in a little bit, I'll just open that back area and just, you can just make the elastic a little tighter. Because I told you, when you're using thin elastic, sometimes you need it a lot tighter than you would really imagine. So, all right, bring this around. Okay, how's it looking? Cute. So once this is all serged, and I definitely, well, there's white on both sides. Those are not the selvages though. That's part of the fabric. So I will keep these points. I'm going to take this, and you can go back to one of my previous tutorials on how to do the rolled hem. I'm going to do the rolled hem on here. And oh yeah, you can adjust it later because you never know. So now I have this pinned up higher. How much of this point down here do I want? It kind of looks like, I'm not liking that look. But this is what I did for the other ones. So I left the top layer. You can leave both layers with points, or you can put the bottom layer as a circle and have this one with points, whichever one you want. So I'm just going to start cutting until it looks cute. Let's see. This point here is a little bit long. So if I start cutting here, how long do I want this? You know what I'm going to do here? I'm going to just cut off. I'm going to keep it square for now. I might change my mind later, but well, yeah, that's better. Now let's look at this side. Oh yeah, it's looking good. Now this here is the actual selvage, which I'm going to be cutting off. So let's just cut it now and make it, that length is not too bad right there though. I kind of like that. Now this I could shorten. Maybe that's what I'll do. First, let me cut off the selvage because I wanted to have an exact, when you do the rolled hem, you're not going to lose any length or width, I should say. All right, let's see. It's looking good. I'm trimming some of that off though. It looks too much like, I don't know, like a Halloween costume right now. I'll keep it clean, okay? Those of you that know me probably know what I was thinking, but you just, I don't want to say the wrong thing. Okay, I'm going to cut off a little bit more in the back. So right now, the back, just just going to gather this a little bit and then we'll flip it around so you can see. So this is going to actually be on my lower waist. So I'm just going to pin it down a little bit lower because it's too hard to try to show you when I'm trying to gather at the same time. So this is how low I'm going to wear it. So if my bathing suit, I think my bathing suit maybe goes to here. I also have a black one piece, which this would be super cute over. You see, if you were on the beach and the wind blowing, getting the idea? All right, so for the back, this is where I have the back, and I have a point here. And if I end up not liking that when I go to stitch that, I can actually curve this a little bit or change it. But for the back, I think it'll be fine. I need to cut off this selvage here. Remind me that I put scissors in my back pocket, all right? I've already had enough accidents this week. For the couture jacket class this afternoon, when you guys come on at 4 o'clock and I say, oh my gosh, I have Band-Aids everywhere because I sat on my scissors, you're gonna all laugh, right? Okay, that's looking pretty cute. I like that. So I guess, I guess I'm kind of 50-50. I wouldn't mind having this a little bit shorter here. So let's just make it shorter. See, this is my point. Looks like a rectangle. I'm going to start at the side. Let's see, which way would be the easiest way to do this? I'm going to take this. I'm just going to cut off some of that triangle. It's still going to look like a triangle, so I'm going to cut it to here. Let's see how long. Right here's the point. Let's go right here. So I made this parallel to the point here. And now, just going to, let's see. Now my cutting will be messy, but once it goes to the serger, it'll be fine. I'll get my head out of there so you can see. Oh yeah, that's looking way better. Oh yeah, super cute. All right, let's go to this side. So I'm basically getting rid of part of this point, but still making sure that it's uneven. So if I cut down this way and back up, see how that's looking? These, I think I'm just going to leave the point on here for now. All right, this one, we need to have a little shorter, so let's go. I'm cutting down and then back up. And the last point, can you see that okay? I'm going to cut down. And then back up. And then when you come to the front, if this looks too straight, you can always curve this up a little bit. See how the hem looks totally uneven, which is what the whole point of this was. It's a circle skirt with a hot mess of a hem. Actually, I have to say, this is looking really stinking cute. And this one, I think I'm just going to change this just a little bit, so it drapes a little nicer. All right, now check it out. What do you like it? Do you like it? Do you not like it? And then here's your option. Does that look like a good front, or would it be better like making it a little bit more asymmetrical? Oh, I kind of like that as the front. And then look, that makes the back look way better too. So you flip it around until it's in a cute position. And then you put your label. I'm going to make sure I remember to put my label here. I can slide that thicker part of the elastic to the back. So I'm going to put a little marking. That's where I'm going to put my elastic. I like that. What do you guys think? Super fun, easy, fast skirt. So the last step will be to run all of these through the serger with a rolled hem. And you're finished. Yeah, I'm not going to do that live. That's like watching grass grow. For real, for real. You guys are hilarious. All right, so, okay, Patty, you like that new one too? I did too. The white line on the bottom bothers you. Yeah, you know what? Me too, Becky. So let's go get rid of it. I took my scissors out, no worries. I agree, that white line right at the bottom, it stands out a lot. So let's go take this one. Let's make this more of an angle and get rid of it. Ah, yeah, way better, huh? Mm-hmm. Okay, how about the back? It does, it looks like the salvage, but it's not. Just gotta trust me on that. So let's go to the purple line. Not almost all of it, hold on a sec. How's that, better? Yes, with a black bathing suit, spot on. Better? Gigantic scissors, I know they are. Much better, all right. Make a headband out of the strap. Well, I think next week I'm going to maybe drape a top. I was gonna drape a bathing suit cover, but actually next week. So for those of you, Janet, you're hilarious. I just saw that. It'd be a belt. Next week, I'm not draping that top. Next week, what we're doing, because we are back on live shows again for a little while. So our schedule is tomorrow, I will be live on Brother's page at, let me just check. It's hard to get back to schedule once we are beach fashion, once we've been hanging out, right? Let's see. I just had it on here. Just a second, and I'll let you know. There it is. Okay, so tomorrow, we drape the bathing suit cover up. Tomorrow, I'm going to show you a way on Brother Sew's page, which isn't always fashion sewing, but it's fashion tote bag. So I'm going to show you how to make a tote bag for the beach. It's going to be lined with a couple pockets in it. You might have seen me do this before, but it's really fun, and then I can take your questions. So tomorrow's a tote bag, and that will be on Brother Sew's page and their YouTube page. I'll share it on mine too, so you won't miss it. At 2 p.m. tomorrow. Saturday at noon is the It's So Easy episodes. Just one of them now during the summer, because I figure you're not going to sit inside for 4 hours. Then next week, still staying with the beach theme, next week on Wednesday at 1:30 p.m., we'll still be on my page here for the behind the scenes. And I'm going to be showing you some ideas for embroidering lace, but lace to use as a bathing suit cover-up. And then next Thursday at 2 p.m., mark your calendar, you're going to drape the lace and make a bathing suit cover-up, a full bathing suit cover-up. I think you'll like that. And then this is where you want to mark your calendar, because I know it's summer fun. Starting Friday the 10th, going all the way through Sunday the 19th, every single day at noon will be one episode of It's So Easy. 10 days of it, 10 episodes, 10 days celebrating 10 years of It's So Easy. Can you believe it's been 10 years and 20 seasons? And then after that, I have a whole bunch of other things planned for you, but that is most of your schedule for half of July. So I'll post that on my blog, and I will try to send a newsletter out for that so you don't forget. But Brother will be sending one out too. So that's going to be fun. All right. Oh, and we have, tomorrow I'm giving away another sewing machine. I did the tally because we had a few weeks of a break. We have 3 more to give away. So let me just post the link here in case you haven't seen it. If you entered at any time, you're still in there. You could always enter more times if you want, but let me just bring it up here so you can, hold on one second. I know, 10 episodes, yes. Louise, I gave up on the skirt. That one went in the trash. It looked awful by the time I finished. And the apron, yes, it's here somewhere. I just found it. It's super cute, though. I'll bring it up next time. Sandy, I haven't decided what season yet. I actually thought of taking one episode from every season. Do you have a preference on what? If you guys have a preference on what episode you want to see, leave it in the comments. And let me just get that link for you real quick. Let's see. I thought I had it right here. I did not. Here we go. Oh, nice to see you, Donna. Peggy, if you thought you entered, you might have, but you can enter again just to make sure. Let me put the link here, and then when I go off of here, here you go. That's the link. And I think, unless I'm missing anything, oh, thanks, Karen. Oh, you guys want purses? I don't even know, because I'm in some of the episodes, but not all. And so I'm going to go all the way back to the beginning of, like, I don't know. I don't think I'll go, like, beyond season 4. But it would be kind of fun to see some of those old ones. Just, if you make fun of how fast I talk, I'm not talking to you anymore. Because my first few seasons, I talk fast anyways, but I was really fast then. Oh, thanks, Liz. Oh, Louise, you have a few fails too. Yeah, that one was I'll bring it out next week to show you maybe. I'll do it in my Angela Wolf Patterns group. There, I won't be so embarrassed. But it was, I got a little bit overexcited and got too much going on there. And it did not look, it could maybe make a bag. Actually, a bag would be fine. Let's see, you have a question about a product and it's not a brother product, so just message me. You could just message me. Because if it's something I know something about, I don't know everything about every product, but just send me a Facebook message, or are you in the Angela Wolf Patterns group? You can ask me there too. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Victoria. Oh, I love bags. Bags and shoes. Although, this winter I haven't been doing much with shoes. I still haven't even worn my wrap dresses, but eventually. All right. Well, if you guys don't have any more questions on that, I'm going to let you go. And thanks so much for watching. It's so nice to be back with you. It's great to have a little bit of summer sun going on. I can't believe my nephews didn't come in and crash the party. They're out fishing with their dad. And I told them we're going to be live. And the 10-year-old said, on YouTube, can I come on? So they're not here. But they all say hi to you. So I hope you have a wonderful day. Just seeing, you guys are all bag addicts. I am too. Oh, the faux sweater sleeve. Which one was that, Pam? If you find the episode, let me know. Thanks, Danny. I just saw a question pop up here and then it disappeared. Oh, Beverly, how many cups do you have? I do. Well, this one has my lipstick on it. It says, I love you to the mountains and back. My family gives me gifts all the time. So it's either a wine glass, champagne glass, or coffee cups. Because I usually break a lot of wine glasses because I drink sparkling water with cranberry juice with a splash of lime. That's my favorite daytime drink. There's no alcohol in there. It's just a drink. But I am very clumsy and I break more wine glasses. Champagne glasses they give me because I can put cute emojis, and coffee cups with sayings. And then I don't usually break those, but I usually leave them in odd places, like the boat or something like that. All right, then. For couture jacket class, I'll see you this afternoon at 4. Fashion Sewing Club members, I will see you tomorrow at 4. And for everyone else, I will see you tomorrow on Brother Sews at 2 p.m. Thanks, everyone. And don't forget, tomorrow we're giving away another sewing machine. So thanks, Brother, for doing that for all the brand ambassadors. Have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you soon. And if you're watching this later, be sure to leave a message. I always go back. And if you want to watch this again, don't forget where to find it. Save it to your page, or you can go to my YouTube channel, or I'll put it on my blog at Angela Wolf. All right. I'll be careful on the boat this time. Bye, Glenda. Thanks, everyone.